Today's video is a tale of two airlines, two legacy flag carriers. Each of them have had their struggles at times over the past 15 years or so, and they've responded to them in very different ways. Finnair, for better or for worse, was one of the first major airlines to debundle their cheapest business class fares. Potentially no lounge access, very restrictive tickets, seat selection that costs a pretty penny. But at the end of the day, it was still business class, or Euro business class. SAS, on the other hand, completely eliminated Euro business class in 2013. And 12 years later, hopefully next week actually, they are bringing it back. So today's video is not so much comparing SAS Plus to Finnair Euro business class, as much as it is illustrating why SAS couldn't afford to not offer business class anymore. By the way, if you're ever curious how much I paid for this or any other flight, the exact price out of my pocket is always in the description. Let me welcome any of you that might be new to the channel. My name is Kevin. I'm here to give you a self-funded and honest look at some of the best, most unique, or simply most popular airlines and hotels in the world, which I've been bringing to you full-time for going on 5 years. I'd love for you to know more about how I do things on the channel, so simply scan the QR code or check out my hundreds of videos to do so. Let's get into the trip report. Flying from Denmark to Norway to Finland in this video, let's see if I can write this script the Nordic way, short and sweet, and keep it under, let's say, 1,800 words. No promises. We start out in Copenhagen early in the morning. As a very far side note, from the get-go of this channel, one of the reasons why I didn't show my face or announce that I'd be filming or visiting in advance is because I find this kind of recognition to be a level of cringe that I hope to never encounter myself. So much for Danish subtlety. I just landed from Bangkok and made my way to the Schengen gates to find the SAS Lounge. The lounge is by far, and I really mean that, the nicest SAS lounge that I've been to. Typically I found them to be quite cafeteria-like, but this one is part sleek, part functional, and had a great breakfast spread on offer, along with some workstations perfect to keep me occupied for the next few hours. Copenhagen's airport is a pleasure to navigate through, and it's no wonder why SAS, now with Air France-KLM and the Danish government as hefty shareholders, chose to focus on Copenhagen specifically of their 3 hubs for future expansion. Copenhagen has taken the majority of the 30 or so new routes that SAS has announced in the past year. I still maintain that an SAS A350 is the most beautiful aircraft that exists, but this Air Greenland A330-800neo isn't far behind. This was the first of 3 A330-800s that I'd seen this week on 3 separate airlines, so I was inspired to book one of them. The Dash 800s, by the way, are extremely rare. SAS eliminated Euro business class as a way to better position themselves against low-cost carriers. A tactic that no full-service legacy airline ever has looked back on and thought, oh, that was a great idea. So when Air France-KLM came into the mix, one of the first major announcements after SAS switched to SkyTeam was the reintroduction of Euro business class. All of you trip report cynics out there are certainly asking yourself, how much worse could Euro business class get? Well, there is economy. I do love Scandinavian minimalism, but these wafer-thin seats that may as well have been made out of cardboard are not the kind of minimalism that I enjoy. I'd have to say that these are the second most uncomfortable slimline seats out there. Your luxurious SAS Plus experience includes your seat and a hope and a prayer that no one books the seat next to you, since the middle seats here are not blocked. Considering Air France has some of the most comfortable European narrow-body economy seats in the market, I do hope that they extend some of that wisdom up north. If you're enjoying the video and would like to support the channel, there are many ways that you could do so. A quick like on the video and subscribe helps videos with the algorithm. You could join my YouTube channel memberships to get early access to some videos and access to all of my community posts. Or you could check out my Patreon, where I post the most and can help you out with any travel-related questions. Whatever you do, thanks for doing it. For SAS Go, that's their Euro economy cabin, there's a buy on board menu. For us up front, there is a small, and I mean small, sandwich along with a selection of drinks. This flight to Oslo, and then the flight from there to Helsinki, are both right around the exact same flying time, which is why I thought it was a good pair to compare. The service on board this flight was very similar to the seats. Stark, lacking, that's about it. I had an afternoon off in Oslo, and then early the next morning made my way back to the airport on the wonderfully convenient Airport Express train, which practically drops you off at the check-in desks. I mentioned in my last video that SAS was the first airline that I flew internationally. On the return, we went through Oslo, and I remember thinking that this airport was like the coolest looking thing that I'd ever seen. And I have to say, it has aged pretty well. Still a really beautiful space. Just an FYI, check-in desk for Finnair opened just 2 hours prior to departure. I had to wander around, waited a while for what turned out to be the wrong lounge to open, and by that time it wasn't worth going to the other side of the airport for a 10-minute lounge stay, so I just headed to my gate. Here's our aircraft for today, an A321, the backbone of Finnair's regional European fleet. On board, we find a relatively much more comfortable economy seat masquerading as business class. At least here, it is true Euro business, so the middle seats are blocked. I'd say there's a solid 2 inches of additional legroom as well. Pre-departure bottles of water were passed around by the absolutely wonderful crew. I would have been happy to have the same crew on a 15-hour flight. Attentive and very warm, in their own Finnish kind of way. Everything started off with a hot towel service, followed by drinks and then a full breakfast. Soon after, a very impressive breakfast spread was presented. Considering what I had for breakfast the day before on SAS, I was kind of shocked to see that this flight, an hour and 13 minutes long versus an hour and 11 minutes yesterday, had a completely full meal. It was a hot breakfast with an omelette pinwheel, roasted potatoes, and ratatouille. On the side was cut fruit and a small charcuterie plate with a roll on the side. Overall, a really solid offering, and as with just about everything else related to Finnair branding, I love the serveware. A bit before landing, service was wrapped up with the crew passing around candies, and the cabin was prepared for our arrival into Helsinki, with some beautiful early morning views along the way. I think most legacy full-service airlines have come around to this by this point, but chasing your low-cost competition to the bottom is literally never the correct answer. Be regional, be niche, be authentic to the region that you represent. Be whatever fits your specific market the most. Those are the airlines that I find provide the best experiences, regardless of their size.
mobiltelefonen. Finnair och OneWorld-alliansen hoppas att du har trivts med oss idag. Tack och välkommen åt.
I look forward to trying the new SAS Euro Business Class in the future, and I hope that you enjoyed this pair of flights today. If you did, please be sure to click that like button and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss my weekly flight and hotel reviews. I'll see you next time from Lombok. As always, thanks for watching to the end. By the way, 1,413 words. Point for me.